It's early May. It's a Friday. We're out at Mirror Lake State Park, and it's a beautiful day right now, and you can see why it's called Mirror Lake. It's mirroring the pine trees in the background. It's hard to tell the water from the land here because of the mirror effect. 2 5th grade classes coming out today. Do pond study and a hike. Hopefully the spring flowers, Jack in the Pulpit, bloodroot, although the bloodroot might be gone by now, and violets, of course, hepatica, spring beauties, lots of flowers coming up. And we're going to do a pond study, see what we can get. It's been cold last night, got down to 32 at least. So it's warming up fast right now though, it's already in the 40s. It should be a great day.
There's on camera. Hey, why are you there? Hello from the camera.
This is an exciting development from classes around here. That there are these Jack in the Pulpits that have popped up. Do you see this? It's kind of it looks like a guy coming out of the pulpit, I guess. Yeah, cool. They just popped up. It's exciting.
Watson, go! Big man! Okay, chicken jockey!
So a few things about this spot. We're all going to do an echo, so we're all going to take a turn and do our own too. But I wanted to mention right below us is a big swallow nest. So these birds come from thousands of miles away, and this is where they're going to be in for the summer season. They're kind of below us, so pretty cool. Migration kind of thing. All right, so everyone knows that this is the Echo Rock, right? The only thing is, this is the only place we're gonna do big echoes because there's quite a lot of people who live around here. So we're just gonna try to be respectful. But who wants? We're gonna start on that side and go this way, okay? But everyone knows what we're doing, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do one just to make sure it works, okay? Okay, how about you?
Hello. They're like, hello.
You should say it.
I will. I'll say.
I'm going to say duck.
Chicken jockey! Chicken jockey! Cheese! Big Mac! Echo!
You gotta wait for it. You gotta wait for it to come back to you, though.
How?
That was a good one.
Chicken jockey! Hey, you don't want why? No.
And how about you?
Hello. Hello.
The teeny one.
Hello. Echo! It's me. It didn't work.
No, you're not gonna do it.
Lexi, hello. I want to do it. Okay. It's me.
You might be able to do that. We're gonna go around it, and it's a pretty narrow trail, so we're gonna go one, single file. But yeah, so let's go.
It feels like sand and stone.
What are we all gonna say? Or this is a good one.
Cheese. I'm Steve.
Let's do cheese this time.
No pickles.
Cheese. Okay, how about a silly one?
Chicken jockey. I'm Steve.
Cute.
Now we can do this.
Now, climb.
Yo, this is a mega cave. This is a mega cave, bro. It's a mega. I said. Yes. I said. I said. I said. So shady. Hey, this is the best spot in the whole world. Look, I know it's not. Yeah, it's Sam. Oh my gosh, a bed. Oh my gosh, thank you. That's so cool. I want to pick your bed. I'm not doing that. Pictures. Colton, you good, bro?
And yeah, it's possible, but it's something we shouldn't do because we should try to keep it around for a really long time and keep it for everybody to enjoy. So I just want to mention that because we all have to do our part to keep the parks nice and cleaned up and not wearing down and things like that, right? The other thing I wanted to say is if you look at the rock, you can see there are tons and tons of things growing on the rock. Can anyone tell me what they see growing on the rock?
A tree.
Trees. Yep. Oh, how about you? Pine trees. All kinds of trees.
That tree.
Moss.
My trees.
Yep. Ferns. Yep. Anybody else?
A face.
We've also a face. We also have this kind of light blue stuff. It's called lichen, and it's a mixture of a fungus and a plant.
I'm just wondering, why did you find out cartwheel down?
If we can find out anything about the birds. Well, there's a little sign here, and a lot of times there'll be a sign, especially on a nice big bridge like this. So this tells us where it was made. It also tells us how much it holds. So you can be a little bit more confident in knowing that, we don't have an entire truck, which probably can go on this. So we're probably safe. We are. This is a very nice bird. So if you want, on the way back, you can stomp a little bit and see if it echoes. Okay? You can try that. Should we do it? Yeah. Okay. That's the way we're going. We're going back that way. So.
Okay, good. Caleb! Caleb!
Oh, a lot of them? Yeah. I should have.
I got some. I got a whole some.
Yep, this is called Creeping Charlie. Well, this is like the nickname of it. It is certainly aggressive and probably in your yard. If you crush it up a little bit and smell it. If you can smell it.
Yes.
It's strong. Okay, now if you look at the stem, do you notice anything about the stem?
It's like furry. It's square.
It's square.
It's furry.
It's a little bit furry. The square part tells us that it's in the mint family. So all mint plants have a square stem. Not all squares are mint, but this is a mint. It's in the mint family. So it smells kind of like that, right?
Can I eat it? Does it taste like mint?
I wouldn't eat it. People can eat it if they make a tea or something like that. But
Make it tea.
yeah.
Okay, give me some hot water real quick. And then,
All right, fifth graders. I need you guys to be good listeners. Okay. Did Colton go to the bathroom? Oh, Colton needs it. Sorry, never mind.
The pond study, nature detectives are aware of what else is going on also. So that bird, it seems to me, and I'm not a real birder, and maybe if, one of you is a stronger birder, that a robin makes a certain noise. All the birds make certain noises because they're communicating. And the robin makes a certain noise, but the Baltimore Oriole makes a noise, at least lots of times, similar to a robin, except it's louder. And that one that we just heard, I think, is a Baltimore Oriole, but I haven't seen it. The Baltimore Oriole is kind of orange, yellow, orange, about the same size as a robin. So just be aware of what's going on around you. The first group I took out and we sat down because early, when I got here early, maybe half an hour before you guys, there were just lots of bugs, very tiny flies flying over the water. And I didn't know what they were, and that's what makes coming to a place like this over and over again kind of interesting, because sometimes you see different things. So we were just watching that, and my thought was, since they were all right near the water, they were probably hatched out in the water. So again, it's kind of the nature detective thing, figuring things out a little bit, wondering about it, asking questions either internally or to somebody that knows more. So when we look out in the lake, like we said in the beginning, I forget if you were, I don't think we were all together. When we look out, we think fish and turtles and maybe some birds here. But under the water, there is so much more and so many different things. Are you wanting to ask a question?
Because the bugs.
You forgot? Okay. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at what's in the water besides the fish, although the last group did catch some fish too. And the things you're going to get for the most part in the net are harmless, except I forgot this morning to say if you do catch a bullhead or a catfish, they are not harmless. They're not going to bite you, but they've got 3 like stingers, the 2 on the side fins and 1 on the top. So if you catch a bullhead or a catfish, you got to hold it very carefully so it doesn't sting you, because it does hurt. But it's not going to be a surprise now. If you catch a fish, it's going to be great and it's going to be obvious And okay, so that's the only thing probably that would hurt you, unless you get, sometimes berry bushes break off and are floating in the water and they've got thorns, so you might get stuck by a thorn too. But for the most part, the live things that you catch are not going to hurt you, even though they look like it. So you know the life cycle of a butterfly, right? The butterfly lays an egg, it turns into what? Caterpillar. The hungry little caterpillar eats and eats and eats all summer long, and then it turns into a what? A chrysalis or a cocoon. And then, this is so magical. It's almost beyond what you can even think about doing. Inside that little chrysalis that was the caterpillar, something's going on, and that caterpillar changes into a butterfly. It's incredible. And then the butterfly comes out and sits, and his wings are all kind of scrunched up, and then kind of stretches out, and then it kind of breathes and pumps some fluids into its wings, and then its wings are out, and then it can fly away. Well, the reason I tell you about butterflies is because the dragonfly has a similar life cycle, and we get a lot of dragonflies around here. So the dragonfly lays an egg in the water, and it turns into a bug, a dragonfly nymph, a dragonfly larva, if you want to call it that. And it's a kind of a prehistoric looking, little vicious looking thing. For us, it's not going to be harmful though, but if you're another bug, it'll eat you. They're predators. So that little thing will stay in the water maybe up to 3 years and keep growing and growing. And then the third year, it crawls out on a boardwalk or on a cattail, something in the water, and just sits there. And then that magical stuff goes on inside of them. That little bug is changing into a dragonfly. And then the back of the bug opens up and the dragonfly comes out. And again, its wings are kind of scrunched up. So it sits there. And pretty soon the wings, 4 wings this time. And each of those wings can operate separately. They're amazing animals. So he gets his wings, all 4 of them, and then he flies away. And then he starts eating other bugs. It's just amazing. So when you see those larvae in your net, don't be afraid of it though. You can pick it up. All right, with these nets. They're supposed to telescope, but some of them just don't move anymore. So if you take your net like this and go down like this, you'll never get anything. You'll not get anything. So you got to take your net. Okay, you see a good spot. And over here there's rocks. You got to be careful with the nets with rocks because we don't want to ruin the nets. So you see a spot maybe out here. Okay, one motion now. Turn it over, go down to the bottom and scrape and come up. Fast. Come right up to the edge. Into the weeds at the very edge. Down, move, bring it up. You want to get a little bit of the bottom because that's where all the good stuff is. But you don't want to have it so heavy that it's bending your net because then you can't find the stuff anyway. So you put your hand underneath it and then start, first look for anything obvious that's moving. Little fish, little bugs. Some of the bugs are little, some are big. And then you start moving it around, looking, you're going to find a lot of these big snails. They're called Chinese mystery snails. And Ashley probably told you about invasive plants. Did she mention invasive? Anybody? Yeah. So these big snails, these Chinese mystery snails, are invasive. They reproduce very quickly. They take the place of the regular native snails. Regular native snails are food for something. So when these big ones take over, then the predator for those little ones doesn't have enough food. They're just not supposed to be in here. And swimmer's itch, they're one of the links for swimmer's itch. That's a little bug that if you go swimming, it gets under your skin and itches. Kind of like a mosquito bite. No worse than a mosquito bite, but it's annoying. So you look, and we've got little containers around with water. So if you find something cool, maybe a little snail, a little clam, a little dragonfly larva, a boatman, any kind of bug, whirligigs, put them in the buckets. And then when you've got a bunch of gunk here, take it and put it back in the water. Don't leave it in the grass. Let's see. So you can go anywhere from the beginning of the boardwalk, this side of the ramp, anywhere along the boardwalk here, along here, and out on that boardwalk over there. So we're not only looking at what we catch, but where it is too. So if we catch most things over there, we want to talk about, well, how come? If we catch more of it out here, how come? Is the water warmer, cooler? Is it shadier? Is it sunny? Is it deeper? Whatever. So be thinking about the conditions. And there's papers like this that show a lot of the possibilities of things you could catch. So there's some by the buckets, there's ones here. Any questions?
Before we get started, fifth graders.
Oh, this is wood chips. That's wrong. No way. No. Probably not. Oh! Yeah. Oh, bro! What are you doing? You're like that. You're supposed to go back. No, I want to go scared of like touching. That's how you do it. You go farther. I'm going somewhere else. Yeah, let's go somewhere else. No.
I'm saying I'm gonna go on there. I'm taking your spot.
Get all of those in one net.
Look over here. Look at this spot.
Communication there in the base.
There's like
Another
snail. some sort of like bug.
They're right down there, Josiah. Where's your fishing spot? What? Something in here is alive.
Okay, sit down on the floor. Sit down on the floor.
I caught it in a crawfish.
There's a bunch of snail shells over here.
No, I put it in a bucket.
See that big log?
It's over in that bucket.
Get
this out for me. I don't know what
That tiny,
you see
tiny
it.
one.
Stop!
Just sweep through this.
You gotta be careful, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Now you know.
Yeah, don't bring out. Just step right here. Watch out for that little spot. This is dry.
Yeah.
Right here. You step.
I found a baseball seed. I found a baseball seed. There's so many snails. There's one on the carrot, but then you don't need snails. Haley has 10. She wants 10 9 if someone wants to take it. She has 9.
I would've.
She
But
would have.
people are taking mine. I'm sad.
There's so many snails. Oh, kiss it if it's catfish. Brock catching catfish.
If someone catches a catfish, I'll kiss it.
The catfish?
A catfish.
What? Who want to kiss a catfish?
A person.
Weirdo?
Person?
Kiss a catfish? Yes,
Right, raise your hand if you're listening. Great.
And they ask you
All right, hands down. Somebody raise your hand and tell me one thing that we caught. What?
A big tadpole.
Big tadpole. What? Crawfish. A leech.
but then catfish.
A what?
I know it. Big snail.
A lot of those invasive Chinese mystery snails. Yeah. A water scorpion. There's only one today. It's real long. It looks like a walking stick on land. Wait, one at a time. What?
We got 2. We have 2 in here.
Two fish?
No way. 2 water scorpions.
Oh, wait.
We have 2 water scorpions.
That was what Wolf.
Okay, one at a time. Let's see. Yes. Some small fish. The one I saw looked like maybe a bluegill. Yeah.
I caught a
Guys, whoa.
I caught a fishing spider.
You did. Cool. So we caught all kinds of things. Yeah. The seashells, some orb snails, some pond snails, some little clams, little pill clams, lots of larvae, some dragonfly larvae, some mayfly larvae. So there's lots in the water, and we just caught some of them today. But there's lots more. And again, most of it is pretty harmless to us, and it's part of the food chain. Oh, I know one thing. You got a big fly. The whirligig beetles, they're just little beetles, but they're interesting. In the summer, they're usually in big groups, all swimming around, whirling around on the surface. But they dive, they can fly, they're little predators, they'll eat other bugs, and also they've got 4 eyes, 2 for above the water, 2 for below the water. So they're kind of interesting little guys. Now, I want to show you too about clams. An interesting thing about clams, in the Mississippi River they grow clams. There's a species that's really big, about this big. And back in the old days, let's see, I don't know what I'm wearing. Let's see. Anybody have a shirt with buttons on it?
I have some
Nobody
at
has
home.
buttons.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I've got buttons. Okay, what are the buttons usually made out of? Plastic. But plastic hasn't been around forever. So back in the old days, one of the businesses was collecting these big Mississippi clams. They'd cut out circles and make buttons out of them. Just an interesting thing. Not these little guys though. So now we've got a moral dilemma. We've got all these invasive snails that don't belong here. And I just, I have a hard time taking all those snails and putting them on the land here and letting them die. I don't know. So I'm going to say let's put them back where we got them from. And if the state parks decide to do something about invasive snails, then that's their issue. But right now we're going to let them go again. And I've got a favor to ask. One of the things about Soak is we want to leave places cleaner than when we got there. And right now the dock down there is looking pretty muddy, you know, from when you bring up the nets. And I didn't say anything in the beginning about keep it clean, but I would like somebody, 3 people, to dump these back in the water. But wait, and then when you do that, to take just fresh water and rinse off that dock down there. Are you willing to do that? Yep. Okay. Are you willing to do that? You too? Thank you. All right.